So before we kick off, um, is there anything that you guys want to know a little bit about me or anything before we start? Just questions, anything? I mean, shoot.
I'm intrigued how you were able to scale. Was it more like a sales powerhouse, marketing, or all above?
Well, it definitely starts off, honestly, uh, with having honing your own skill in sales and then not being afraid to market. That's absolute the biggest hurdle I deal with people that haven't hit the $1 million mark yet, and even people right at the million. You have to spend sometimes money that you don't feel safe with to do it to learn because marketing is a learned thing, and you're gonna burn through agencies. This is why my daughter and I started an agency of marketing because everyone just burns through them and they have no trust for people. Google changes algorithms all the time. I mean, the best marketing people sometimes uh, clients will tank and you didn't do anything wrong, and then you get blamed for it. Not often, but not. I mean, you kind of learn how to trust. But to answer the question, it's definitely honing in your sales skills for sure, and then being able to duplicate it, which is what this is about tonight. Duplication of a sales process. Have one, and having a sales process to where you can put somebody in and having that process makes them successful faster than just come out and watch what I do and I'll show you how I do it. And so that's what this is all about. And I'll show you as we get going. I have a sales process for masters, which I'll show during the thing. This is our process. I've taught this to over 100 chimney companies in the around the country, and I would say 60 of them have 2x their revenue from that alone. I mean, typically it takes about a year and a half to double your revenue. They've done it fast because what I'm going to teach, not so much today. Today's like the 10,000 foot deal, but what I teach is you got to get the foundation first, and then you build the process because the process is a living document too. Things are going to change. You're going to do things better. You're going to add more products or just whatever type of stuff, right? And so, um, but it really is when you do it, I find that really is the sales process isn't honed in to the employees, and the owner doesn't spend enough money on marketing. Just that's just really where it's there's not a whole lot, and then always educating yourself. So we're at the 6 minute mark, so we are going to fly and go. And so I do have the recording on. I am going to share my screen. All right. So somewhere on here, I can go like this. Can you guys see my screen now? Or it's only the presentation in
Yes.
Canva? Okay, good. All right, so this is the 10,000 foot view. So this isn't going to be a ton of like all about do this because you got to have a foundation first, like we were just talking. So I want you to know that this today, and I'm going to have more of these and keep going with these. But this right here is how to start having the fundamentals of what a sales process is. Okay. And also, sales isn't just sales. This is where a lot of people get it wrong too. Sales isn't a single event. It's the system that starts long before the appointment. You have to get this in your head. Sales starts when you market. So let me ask you this. Which guy would you prefer to purchase a car from? Just from a picture. More than likely, it's going to be the guy on the left, right? Because the guy on the right looks cheesy. And I'm not saying our people are cheesy, but there's something to looking at this guy and this guy. And then what about this? Which one would you have decorate your house from the picture? There's no way to separate. You have no idea, right? They're twins. Other than the slight difference in color, what is their differentiator? So that's what we get to when we talk about sales process. What do you differentiate your business from the competition? And I'll tell you right now, it's your sales process. From start, from literally the start that someone touches your business until you've taken their money And then it starts all over again. What do you do for the follow up to repeat and all that kind of stuff? But really, from that time you take their or time they find you, call you, to the time you have taken the money, what did you do to differentiate yourself from the competition? All right. So, like I said, it still starts with marketing, and it ends only when the customer says, "Stop calling me." What does that mean? And this is the beginning of the process when you've made the estimate, and that sales process does not end at all until they say stop calling, stop emailing me, or they hit the button to stop getting your all your messages and stuff like that. It just never stops. So that's a part of a lot of the little businesses. I say little businesses. I say little guys and stuff, is because the guys that start understanding the money isn't just new acquisition. The money is in the existing clients as well. And building a sales process is part of follow ups and continuing. All right. So, you want to know a little about me? Here's my company. And at this point, I think we're at around 50, 55 people. By the way, I'm not in the picture because I'm up on a lift taking the picture. And so, and by the way, we had another 10 trucks we couldn't get in this picture. So, I mean, this was master services. And so, we we went. So I've been fortunate enough to know about sales process since my first day I got into business. So I built my own sales process for chimneys day one, and then I have advanced it to what I just show you on that little booklet, and it's still evolving today. And there's things that and everybody in here are still at this time. I think we had 5 sales guys, maybe 4. Let me go here. No, I didn't. Let me go back. Yeah, 4 sales guys, and they were doing $4.5 million. So when I first started really working on the process from the initial process was probably around 2015. Had a great process. So I started in 1997. And from 1997 had a good process. It was literally a piece of paper. But it was still something for everyone to work at, to have a little rapport and then a little bit of scripting to it. And it built up to this, which is 45, 60 pages of exactly what to do from calling on the way all the way to getting the money. And so, so 4 guys in the chimney business in Dallas, Texas, when it's 100 degrees out for 5 months a year. I was literally one of the, up until about COVID. Oh, there's someone else coming in. I can't see it over there. I got to put that over here. Sorry, guys. Let me make it so where I can see the participants in case someone tries to come in the waiting room. There we go. All right. So, um, so anyway, in Dallas, Texas, 105 degrees, 110 degrees, 5 days a week or 5 months a year, or at least 3 or 4. I built one of the largest chimney companies up until about COVID. That I was in the top 10 then. Now I've actually coached 5 or 6 companies to be bigger than me. But they're all above the Mason-Dixie line where people need their fireplaces, where people down here don't. So yeah. Um, so that was. Do we know an Alan Mason? Does anybody? No nods. Alan Mason. We're going once. Once. Twice.
Nope.
No. Okay. Good. All right. So, all right. So let's move on. So just that's enough about me. Let's talk about what I did and how you should do it too. So it starts with, like I said, marketing, CSR, and sales handoff. So here's the difference. Chain of success. The marketing attracts, the CSR qualifies and books, and the sales converts. Now, there's something in this I did not put. Can you see my mouse, by the way? You can, right? All right. In this section right here, CSR qualifies the books. The CSR should also be selling. And when I say CSR, that might be you. You might be answering the phone. I don't know. Whoever's answering the phone should be selling as well. They should be it's like golf. They're the tee. They should be teeing it up to start getting expectations. And so emphasize how consistent messaging and expectation setting in marketing and CSR calls make the sales jobs rep way easier. And that's where we talk about scripts, tracking, and pre-qualified. So I'm going to show you I'm going to stop the share here. Did I share my screen? Can you guys see my screen where it's master services right now? You
Yeah, I
can
can see it.
give me a thumbs up. Okay. This is our script. I wrote it. And this is before AI. So they literally have my call center girls. I can literally train a girl how to put an appointment in, and she can literally be on the phone after she watches someone do it for one day and already be answering my phone like she's worked there for 20 years. So so she literally just hey, thank you for calling Master Services. I'm Jessica. Our goal is to give you a 5-star experience. We fix chimneys and paint houses. Which service are you calling about today? Oh, we want chimney. So they say chimney. Okay, great. Excellent. We've been doing chimney work for or chimney work since 1998. Many types of fireplaces and homes vent differently up the chimney. We need to determine what type of fireplace does your home have. May I ask if you burn? So here, you get what I'm saying? I have systemized it all the way down to all questions, blah blah blah, and then you just if they hang up or you go through the whole thing and then go back to the greetings. So I have got my person answering the phone 100% on on what to say, and there is sales in here. They start selling. Let me go here. I'll show you here. Inspection. So they're selling the inspection, and they're literally. So let me tell you if this isn't teeing up an inspection. Most people would say the inspection is $299. We're going to come out. We're going to look at the fireplace in the chimney. It takes about an hour, and we'll do a no mess cleaning. That's what 98.9% of every chimney company says. Not us. I want to let you know that our current homeowner clients highly regard our annual inspection chimney program. The benefits they receive year after year are knowing that our fireplace is going to, and we just go down there and we talk about value. We're also looking at all this for value. It's $250. We will not clean. And look at all this. And when I first showed this to my call center, they freaked out. They're like, I'm not, we have to say all that. I go, I'm sorry. When's the last time you climbed on a roof on a 110-degree day or in an attic? It's not that hard to read this. And so they did. Our booking rate doubled. Because we just showed value to everybody else. And by the way, this is old. This needs to be changed. We're at 350 now, not 250. So we actually have a different program. This is on the websites. We actually have a different program that this works in now. That's why this hasn't been updated in a couple of years. But I still show it to clients. But okay, so let me go back to here. All right. So the thing is start realizing what sales is. Sales is before you actually hand it off, right? And so, okay, let's move on. All right, pre-appointment. So pre-appointment stuff. So how do you automate it? So if you can't automate it, someone's got to do it personally. So think about this. Someone just makes an appointment with you, okay? Hopefully you have a CRM. If you don't, that's fine. And hopefully your CRM does this. If not, you need to do this. Send them a text and an email confirmation immediately. Then your salesperson, within 24 hours, unless the call is tomorrow, sends a what to expect either message or asks for a pre-call to talk to the client before they show up. Why are we doing this? I want to get to know the client before I ever open the door. I don't like, you guys know when you knock on the door and you're a service guy, and the first thing you do, you say, hi, I'm Chad with Master Services. And what are you both doing? You're both eyeballing each other. You're like judging, you're looking, you're doing all this stuff, right? I don't know you. I'm about to let you in my house, and I'm trying to be happy. This call, you get to know them. Like Eric, like if your guys called on the way for a new inspection or a new bug thing or whatever or a wildlife, like, hey, tell me what's going on more. A little bit. Is it up in the attic? Is it this? Is it there? Have you seen the animal more? And this is after the conversation. And maybe you had a little talk yesterday with them when you made the appointment, if it was you. But now you call up, you show more interest. You need to know a little bit more. Say, do you have any idea where they be getting in, or if you have bugs? You seeing more ants outside right now, or just whatever. You talk to them. So now, so when you go to knock on the door, you're on a cold or not, you're on a warm call, a lead that you showed up that they booked, but they already start to like you and know you because you're already giving them value up front, and you're already showing that you care. Guys, this is the most underrated task that people don't do. Colo, you're going on a roof job. If you haven't called to talk to them a day or two before and talk to them about their roof, that's you're dropping the ball because now you know to do that. Don't do that anymore, right? So make sure that you call everybody and talk to them more. What else can I do for you? Roofs. You don't have to call about roofs, just whatever. Okay. So before you call too, come up with on your phone. Come up with, or have the call center do it if you have one. Come up with a testimonial or a case study or and a before and after picture and send them a testimonial and that before you go. So not only you calling and talk to them, now you're showing social proof of how good you guys are. You are really ringing the tone because now what do we say before? Differentiate yourself. Differentiate yourself. How much are you in just this slide alone? How much have you differentiated yourself from everybody else? 100%. Nobody else is doing this stuff. You know it. You're not doing it. This is what's going to set you apart. This is what makes sales easy. This is how I went from a $800. Hear me, guys. Hear me out now. In 2015, I went from $800 sales average ticket. Are you ready for this? 4,200 in 30 days. We literally went, that's when we went from 1.5 million to 4 million. And then we stayed at 4 million for years. COVID hit. We hit 5 million a couple times, but it's just like our average over the last 5 years has been 4.5. So anyway, okay, so there you go. Okay, reminder text with a text name. And that's another thing. Well, some CRMs do this already. Send them a text that morning, like on the call on the way thing or before the call on the way, of a bio of who's coming. Like if it's you or if it's on a tech, just have the technician like write him up a bio to give to him on his phone with a picture of him, and then have him send that before he goes. It's perfect. Or better yet, build a website bio on your website for your guys, and then send them the link to that guy's page. And so it's just you're just totally separating yourself from everybody else, and that's what it's about, right? Because the twins, who are you going to hire? What if someone shows up and does the exact same job as you do when it comes to the in-house stuff? What's gonna make the difference? You got to make yourself look different. So, we don't just show up cold; we show up trusted. All right. So, first appearance. It's always impression. Your first impression. I'm sorry. Appearance, tone, body language, time management. So, a lot to be said there. So, how to build rapport naturally. So this is part of I'm going to go through my little book here in a little bit, but this is literally where rapport, and I don't care if you're a bug guy, I don't care if you're a big contractor, I don't care if you're maid service. Rapport is everything. I can literally go and sell $50,000 a day in chimneys and talk an hour of chimneys the entire day and talk to 10 clients and only talk an hour of chimneys, and they buy every one of them. So compliment the home, pick an item in the interest in the house. So this is very big. As you're walking in, everyone always walks in. Eric, I can see this. You walk in, you're like looking for bugs, right? Or your guys are looking for bugs. They're trying to see. They're already working, right? No, don't be a bug man. Be an invited guest. When you become an invited guest, and as you're walking in, all of a sudden you see a hockey jersey. Hey, and you're a hockey guy. Like I'm a hockey guy. Hey. Oh, and then especially if you know the hockey team plays, you start talking hockey. And sometimes 5% people don't give a shit, and they're gonna pass on you, and they're not gonna care at first. They're gonna be all business, and you know what? You might just have to move on, but you'll build it in later. But most of the time, if you find something that you're passionate about in that house, and it's in their house, so obviously they're passionate about it one or two ways. Either they hate because they're paying so much money and they have to go to all these games, or they love it, which is more than likely what it is. Now you're just talking about something they're involved with too, right? And so do that. And then if your company doesn't have a whole line of discovery questions already set up for whatever they're there for, you got to have that. Because if you don't build in your sales process a discovery question situation, your guys are never going to do everything that you could have sold. And that's what this is about. I don't even go into it in this whole presentation, so I'm glad it just triggered my mind to do that. You're there for one thing in their mind, but you're there for everything you do because they don't know what you do. Discovery questions, part of it is, as a matter of fact, I'll just bring it up. When you get to the discovery discussion, I have 2 pages of discovery questions, and it's right here, page 2. Did you know that we do blank? May I look at that since I'm here? It's actually part of the discovery process, you know? So, yeah. So, stress that this is just, I'm making my notes here. Stress that people buy trust and confidence, not the cheapest price, also. They want to see your energy, they want to see your knowledge, but you know what? They don't buy from experts, they buy from people they like. The expertise will come naturally because you already know that. All right. Sales process. So I'm going to get into it. Here's my process. Now, I'm going to go through this pretty fast because it's long and I'm going to make it quick. And so, and I, so how I have to do this is I have to come back over here and I have to go to here. Right here. Yeah. This is, so by the way, I build these when people coach with me. I actually build these for them in their coaching. We work together and we build this out. So I'm going to show you the sales process, which is this right here. This is one I did for another chimney company. So I have a little table of contents that call on the way, pull up to the door, the walk-in, the sit-down, the rapport, in your own words, discovery questions, unique discovery questions, setup questions, 5-star experience, because that's what you're going to give everybody. You're going to learn this. Invitation to join, which you'll see that in a little bit. Inspect it, and then you go do your inspection and your estimate. Permission, spouse invite, more rapport. Notice how I actually have rapport built in. I'm actually telling them to talk about other shit during the process. Present findings, pricing, total company story, stuff I bet you're not doing. Close them. Now you get into rebuttals. They're gonna always say I got to think about it if you have a high ticket or stuff, unless it's an easier stuff. What's your price objection? And these are all your objections. So let's go through it. Let's go fast. So literally, I train these guys how to knock on the door. Hi, this is Chad. I'm with Master Service. I'm here. This is the phone call. This is the call on the way. Hi, this is Chad. I'm with Master Services. I'm on the way to provide you with 5-star experience to clean your chimney. I'll be there in about 15 minutes. Hey, by the way, I'm going to stop by QT. Would you like anything like a coffee? I'll love to buy you one. Guys, my guys do this all the time. Buy coffee. We've even bring people home milk. I'm at Quick Trip. Do you want me to get you anything? Or I'm going to go to Starbucks. You want a coffee? Anything. And it's so funny. At first, the guys are like scared to do it. And I started having a contest. Whoever gets them, I gave everybody, anyone who gives one person the first week we do this, that I started doing this. If anyone buys someone a coffee and takes a picture with the client with it, I'll give them $100. And so I started, and then all of a sudden they do it now all the time because it just works. All right. So now, action steps. You pull up to the door. So when you get there, you got to take a picture of the company vehicle in front of the client's home or business and upload it to the CRM. Because most CRMs timestamp when you're there in case you knock on the door, they don't answer, but also proves you're there and all that kind of stuff. And then when you get there, hi, I'm here to give you, hi, I'm Chad. I'm here to give you 5-star experiences for your chimney cleaning for $299. I say the price and service. May I come in? Or they pull them out. Now, there's 2 things that you would have just noticed. Have I not just set them up for review twice? On the call on the way in, I said, I'm going to have to give you 5-star experience. And at the door, I said 5-star experience in here. So in our sales process, I am already building in their mind, we are a 5-star experience. All right. Now we're going to walk in. Hey, here we go. Rapport. I'm building rapport. Nice home you have here. I like this hockey jersey, like we just said, right? Mention it. Now, another trick here is, does anybody know about price conditioning? Do you guys know what price conditioning is? Give me a nod or yes or no or a thumbs down. Yes. Do you know what price conditioning actually is? Well, price conditioning is getting people used to big numbers. It's psychology. So I'm going to price condition with big numbers all the way through this. You're going to see. And so, man, I love this house, and said, oh, that Jersey. You know what? There's 100,000 people that I've seen with that don't have that Jersey. You say something about, you're trying to say 100,000. You're just going to say something with 100,000. So, okay, so we'll move on. Now, right. So you don't, so in the chimney business, we sit down. We're going to ask this question. I want to sit down because I want them to be comfortable with me. Some of their services don't do this. I still encourage them to do it. Still sit down and ask questions. No one wants to sit there with a clipboard and listen to you talk. Sit down, be comfortable, get them in this position. So I have many questions, to know about your situation, your fireplace, and your chimney. Can we sit over there? I just want to ask a few questions to get comfortable so I know exactly what we're doing. No one ever says no. They always say yes. And you know what they do then? They offer you coffee or a water. Never, ever refuse it. Even if you just had 10 cups of coffee and you had a monster lunch or breakfast, what you do is then don't decline it. Say, listen, I'm not a coffee drinker. I already drink all my coffee today. How about a bottle of water? That way you can take it with you because you don't want to leave a full water or something you never took it, never drink it. And so, all right. So I noticed you, and this is another thing you're doing. You're already showing. This is kind of where you're talking a little bit more about the jersey or something else you see, and then you also tell a self story. So now notice this whole thing. I have not said chimney or fireplace except for when I said what I'm going to do. So now we get into it. Okay, in your own words, can you please tell me why I'm here? Exactly. Here's the thing. See the note? Listen. Shut up. Don't be the expert. Don't interrupt them. And when they're done talking, stare at them for another 5 seconds and let them keep talking. Nod. That's it. Because a lot of times they don't tell the whole story to whoever's on the phone. That might even been you. They don't tell you everything. So you want to be patient and listen and let them go through it all. And then when they're done, just stare at them. And if they don't say nothing, if you get to that 5 second, very uncomfortable mark, you go, is there anything else? Tell me more. All right. All right. So here's our discovery questions, which I'll kind of skip over a little bit. But how long have you lived here? Is this your forever home? How often do you use your fireplace? Have any other issues? When was the last time of service? Do you have any concern about using it? Does your fireplace put out heat? So that's the chimney questions. And then you get to the now we're getting into the unique question. Do you like what that fireplace looks like? Because now I'm getting into remodeling. Ever thought of remodeling or upgrading? When's the last time you had your dryer vent cleaned? Do you have any lake properties, houses, cabins, rentals, whatever? And did you also know that we do whatever else? So like termites, fencing, whatever, right? Whatever you do. All right. Now that I know why I'm here, how fast do you want me to get this thing fixed? Whatever you're there for. Guys, the most important slide up to right now is this slide. Why? Because you're gonna find out later when they say a rebuttal, like I got to think about it. Wait a minute, you just so how fast you want to get this fixed or everything, or how fast you want me to spray your yard, or how fast you want me to do this? Oh, I want to do it right away, right away. Okay, good, good, good. All right. Then later on, it's like, well, let me think about it, right? Let me think about it. Well, wait a minute. Now I build enough rapport. I've talked about the jersey. You told me earlier you want to get it done as fast as possible, which we'll talk about. Well, I'll continue that in a couple minutes. What you would do there. All right. 5 star. So, guys, third time. Listen to this. Third time. As you heard me say a few times, 5 star experience. If you feel anytime I or any of my guys working here aren't giving you a 5 star experience, let me know immediately so I can correct it back to 5 stars. Is that okay? Guys, you just went above and beyond and just solved the problem that may never happen because now they trust you and they literally, you just said something no one's ever said to them in their whole life. This statement right here is massive. I would suggest you guys take a picture of this right now, screenshot this because honestly, teach everybody to say this every time you're doing it because this right here is gold. You really just put the whipped cream on top of the pie. I mean, it's that good. You will see people's faces literally just go, wow. All right. Okay. Invitation. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is in the chimney business. So we want our when we do camera inspections, we want the client there when I'm putting up a $5,000 camera up their chimney that's all lit up and rotates like a robot, all that stuff. I want them to see the damage firsthand when I discover it. So, like if you're inspecting Eric for bugs or going for wildlife, now of course you don't want them in the attic, but if you're inspecting, you should have them with you. They should be with you at all around doing everything. Anything that they can do to help you sell by showing you stuff is what they should be there. Okay. So then you go do your job, write your estimate up, do your inspections, do whatever. All right. Now, this is straight from a book. This is not new to me. I read this in a book and I actually was talking to another sales guy that it was funny. He read a different book. I was at a convention 2 years ago and he's a sales trainer too. That was a good buddy of mine. And I told him about this and he's like, shut the front door. I just added it to my sales process I treat. I read that too in another book. And I'm like, yeah, go. So when you're done doing the estimate, or I'm sorry, you're done doing your findings, but you have not written it up yet, go knock on the door and say, I found my recommendations outside, inside. Can I have with your permission? Can I go write this up right now? They're going, well, of course. Yes, that's why I called you for. And then there's this slide. This is gold. If the other spouse isn't there and you need to have the other spouse there for whatever repair you're giving, hey, thank you. I'm going to go write this up. In about 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to be back in here with this document to sign, or let's give you the estimate. Would you be a favor? You got your husband up, checking to see where we're at so far. If he has any questions for me, if we could get him on for maybe 5, 10 minutes when I show you everything that, we can get everybody. Cause you did tell me earlier, you want to get this done as fast as possible, right? See how we just keep answering any rebuttal they're going to get in the middle of the process. And this is how you become a $5, $10 million company. So you're setting them up before you write the estimate up. And I need the spouse. I need them now. And I'm not like, especially to a woman, you don't want to say, hey, you get your husband on, is he a decision maker too? No, no, no. This way is very, very neutral, right? It's not offending. I mean, Francine, does this seem, I mean, you're the only woman on here right now. Does this seem like it's offensive at all?
No, I love it.
Good. So
Yeah,
it's
no.
written to be like this, so that's exactly what I want to hear. Thank you. So, okay. All right. So then I'm going to I'm going to go do my estimate and get it all written up. And then I'm going to go back down. And guess what? I am not going to do this from the front door. Golly, you sales first people, you contractors, you do it from the front door. No way, or in the yard. No, get your ass back in there and sit at the table. Get another water. Sit down. If they offer you a Coke, take it, whatever. All right. So sit down. Now, you're going to present your findings. Now, here's the thing, depending on what you are, and I think most people are good at this, but it's funny how I find out that they're not. Don't talk pricing right now. Just tell them what's going on and how you're going to fix it. Keep the money out of it. Let them engage and listen to you without thinking about the money. And if they ask in the middle, don't tell them. I'll get there. Okay. So when they ask you, price condition and say it's only $1 million and laugh. By the way, that's actually in a slide we skipped. So price conditions. So when we're doing the chimney inspection, I didn't write it in on this. So this must have been added after I did John, this is John, Dr. Sweep. So Everybody always, when they start seeing the damage, they start going, "Oh my God, this is gonna be expensive." Then you laugh and you go, "It's only gonna be $1 million." I'm price conditioning another high price. Okay, I'm trying to get them to think high. All right, so go through the whole thing with no pricing whatsoever.
Hey, Jack, can I ask a quick question?
Yes,
So I used to be in the pest control space and I love the giving an estimate like right on the spot, just because you have that greater chance of closing right there and then when you're with them. I've found in the contracting space that's not always possible. For smaller jobs it might be 10,000 or less. I can do it on the spot, but like when I have a full home remodel and we're doing multiple rooms and there's so many components to it, I feel safer to go back and actually like look things over in detail, and sometimes that can take a while. What would be your recommendation in terms of that follow-up? Would it be setting up another in-face appointment with the
yes.
customer? Is that the best bet?
Yep. No, this is so for contractors, this is a broken up sales process. So this is like the one close. Well, this is the one close sale. So for contractors, you're going to break it up because you got to find your findings. You have no idea what, colors, granites, light fixtures. There's a lot to your bids, right? So your
Mhm.
sales process, pretty much in the beginning, is all the same. Nothing changed. It's just that when you get to the findings, there's going to be a time where you're going to sit down with them, you're going to discuss a little bit more, maybe have a coffee or a Coke, whatever. And then you say, okay, I have the information. I'm probably going to, so this is what I suggest as contractors. I'm probably going to call you back because I'm going to start in the middle of starting finding some stuff, and I'm gonna ask you some more questions. So how about give me 3 days to do my homework on what we've discovered here, and let's get on a call. And then you're gonna call a little bit more, and then you're gonna at that call you're gonna set the expectation of when you're gonna give them the estimate, and then you are gonna go back and give them the estimate. You never, ever, ever, if it's under 5,000, ever do a call on the phone or an email. You that's a handed in person thing. You don't send the email until you're sitting there with them. Do it. So you have to chop up this process, but it is
Okay.
you're gonna do everything in there, everything. Nothing changes except for you're gonna have different appointments and how you set. So that so whatever build one for you if you work with me, we would build out, appointment one, the phone call, appointment two, and possibly even appointment three. It depends on how big of your job is and how long it's going to take. But the whole idea of the process is to keep them in the loop on your side. Keep them in the loop. Keep the communication going, and then show up and like we had a contractor. So we remodeled our kitchen 3 years ago. We had three guys come to bid. I hired none of them. That's how we got in the kitchen. We do kitchen remodels at Masters. It's because we did mine first. And my guys had actually been remodeling kitchens before, but I used them instead of these other people because no one ever followed up. Their sales process was junk. Even getting a price out of one of them we never did. We never got a price for one. And the other two prices were okay, but it took forever. Like I had to call them. If people are having to call you, you've lost that bid. That's not going to happen. So does that answer your question, Ronan?
Super helpful, man. Thank you. Yep.
Yes. Okay. All right. Now, here's this was added about the same time as that other part was you have to teach your employees or yourself what's your company's story. Because now you got to tell them. This is now you have literally just given them the price. What am I doing right now with the company story right now? I will tell you. I'm trying to they just got shocked or sticker priced a lot of times with the price. So now I gotta get them off the price real quick and tell them why they should hire me. Before you say yes, let me tell you a little bit about our company. And then you tell them a company story. Like, hey, I'm Chad with Chad with Master Services. Started this up in 1997 out of the Colony, Texas, in his garage. Everyone thought it was crazy. Starting a chimney company in Texas when there was just a bunch of mom and pops. We built it up to, one of the top 20 largest chimney companies in the world. Chad actually carried the American flag in Italy for the World Chimney Conference last year in 2024. and we have our own sheet metal shops. A lot of products are actually made by us. We've got a patent on a couple products and blah blah blah. So we're invested into the chimney industry. So we are the people to call. So this is who we are. We're chimney people. My guys have a story like that. So I didn't create John's story because I needed him to create it, and he kept blah blah blah. So he ended up having to do this himself after I have helped him do it. And but anyway, so yes, that's super important. Okay, so now we go to the close. I'm sorry, we already pre-closed them, and now we're going. Okay, no, wait a minute. Yeah, no. We've already told them the price, but now we're going to close them. When can we get the work done as soon as? Okay, we can get this work done as soon as possible. Ready for me to call? Ready for me to call the office for your availability? I mean, this is right now. How I say it's simple. Hey, you ready to get this done? We can get on the books this week or next week. And shut up. Shut up. This is where people just totally screw up closing. Shut up. Silence is gold. Stare at them. Like literally with your eyes open, close your eyes and wait for them to say something. Because you know what they're firstly going to say? They're going to say this. Let me think about it. Or they're going to close, or they're going to say yes. But they're almost always going to say, let me think about it. Or I got to get other bids or something. We're going to go through these. So the point of rebuttals we're about to go through, guys, is to know why they're not buying. It's not, this is where people go wrong. Rebuttals are not to talk them in to buy. It's to know why they're not buying. So then you can now talk them into buying and give them reasons of why they should go with you. Bye, honey. All right. So let me think about it. Now, here, see the note? Think back to discovery when you ask them, is there anything or how fast you want to get this thing done or blah, 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 right? So here you go. Is there anything you need a better explanation of? I thought you wanted to get this job done as soon as possible. And then I just go right for the throat. Is it the price? I do. Because it always is. Because I don't want them to have to come up with an idea because they don't want to say it's the price. But I want to just get right at it because I know that's what it is. If it was free, they all say yes, right? So, well, yeah, it's the price or it's expensive, so they say something like seems high. It's I understand. Is there anything that I showed you that you don't think we should do? What? They kind of look at you and say, well, no, we need to do everything. Or, well, I mean, it looks like it's just a high price, I guess. Yeah. Okay, I see. So are you looking for value or price? I only ask because we offer value for our prices for all the work that we do. You probably did your homework on us and saw all the reviews. Apples to apples, we're competitively priced for the market. Have you got any other estimates? No, we're thinking about it. Okay, well, that's fine. Scope of work is always a difference between estimating against other companies. Apples to apples, or is it apples and oranges? You did agree that we both need to do that. You do everything in the estimate, right? Yep. Okay. Well, when you go find another company, they have a smaller estimate. It's not because they're doing the same stuff. It's literally because their scope of work doesn't match my scope of work. So I gave you a $10,000 bid, and I'm doing all this stuff that the fireplace requires, or the job requires, and they're giving you a bid for $5K, and it doesn't have half the stuff on there. So my price isn't too high. It's just literally the scope of work because we're better and we know what to find, right? Now, in our case with fireplace and stuff, we're certified, so we say, we know all the Curtin City codes and standards to what the fireplace has to be up to. And then they look at you and you just say stuff like that. They're like, oh shit. Oh, I got to talk to my spouse. You're going to get that all the time, right? Okay, I'll totally get that. Well, we already, hopefully, if you recall, when we asked for permission to get them on there, hopefully you don't have to go through this. But a lot of times you will because they won't be there. So this is a simple one. Well, can we get them on the phone right now? And people are always like, employees, and even business owners. Oh, I would never go say that. Well, why not? Why would you not? Let's get them on the phone. And, a lot of times you go, oh, my husband's a lawyer, is super important. And we never get him on the phone. Okay, so what? So that's when you go, well, can we get him on a call tonight? It's just take 5 minutes. We'll just go through here. This is where it seems pushy, but it's not. You're there to sell them. You're there to do your service, and you don't want to come back and have them think about it. We're trying to get them to close. Now, Ronan, and obviously with your type of business, some of these rebuttals probably will never fly. But when it comes to service work and doing contractor work like this stuff, it does. All right, do I have to do all the work now? Well, this is probably not one for you guys. So I'll read it because it's a funny one. I love it. And so, you know, with us it's performance or usage. So if we don't have to do everything now, but it's one of those things that we got to stop the moisture or we can have to use it. Which do you want to do? But there's no warranty if we don't do it. That's essentially what that paragraph says. So then I love this one. I love this one. It's been like that for years. Okay, well, I know it has, and it's an issue about it's an issue about ready to happen. Do you know why codes are made? Codes are made because bad things happen. Not once, not twice, but many times. My objective is to get your fireplace and chimney performing at its best. Fire is no grandfathered situation. So guys, if you could put anything in here, like you could literally say, a raccoon in someone's attic, hey, you know that soffit that you have up there, that's no grandfathered situation, man. We gotta get that fixed up to code or better hardy board or stuff like that. There's many things you could use that phrase with. Codes for us. Codes change and standards do as well. Is there anything else you shouldn't do or ready to approve to work now? And we go right for them there. So, all right. Oh, we have so many projects. This is one you'll get, Ronan. Oh, we have so much projects, and maybe this doesn't apply to you, but if I were to work with contractors and stuff, we would make this one a little different and make it right on fact. But for chimneys, this one's gold. I got so many projects right now, and it's like I understand chimney repairs are only going to go up and get worse, causing the estimates to go up as well. The good news is I can stop the damages now and stop the cost from rising. As a matter of fact, the estimate is only good for 30 days due to the chimney and fireplace current condition. I can offer you financing. So with contractors and stuff, you can say, you literally say, hey, I just did all this work, got the bid done for you, and literally, I mean, my price is good for 30 days. I don't know what it's going to be like that. Granted, goes up and down. All this stuff goes up and down, and current and conditions and everything else with the market changes as well. So, my price, is good now. We could get it financed for you. If you guys aren't offering financing, by the way, if you do bigger ticket items, you need to. All right. Then it just kind of goes up. Then this is your follow-up call. So that's it. So that's essentially the okay. So there's one more thing. You sell the job. This is super important. This is another pain point that guys don't do, and my guys are good at. Don't keep us a secret. Now that you just sold them, especially when you're getting the money, when you're getting paid. Hey, don't give me a secret, or actually, I'm sorry, that's the name. Say, hey, now that you're happy with our work, and you always see it with the fireplace, they're always ecstatic, and or the remodels, they are too. They're also happy, right? I mean, I watch the TV shows. Now that you're so happy with the work, let's not keep me a secret. Who do you know that we can put on a text right now? That maybe want to remodel or maybe need bugs things or whatever. Let's take a selfie together. Let's whatever. Get your buddies with these people. If you did all the rapport, your buddies. They want to help you out. You don't realize how many people will do it. If you did a great job for them, trust me, they want to help you. And no one plays that ball. That pitch should be pitched a lot more, and it's not. All right. Okay. So let's go back to we're about to leave. We've been through the rebuttals. They're not buying. They're just not. So what's going to separate me from everybody else right now? Because I'm going to probably maybe give them a piece of paper if you printed one up before, or maybe you have a printer, which, by the way, all my guys in their trucks have printers. So any estimate they do, they print it. And guess what they do if they don't buy? We put it in a folder that's branded big time with us. And I'm going to show you the slides for this. And it's got banned important things about their job that we already have done, a little pamphlet, and our insurances. Now I've just separated myself from everybody, and nobody's thinking about insurance, especially with a service company. So let me show you what's in the folder. So there's the front. And by the way, guys, guess where these go? They sit on their island for weeks. And they stare at you. As a matter of fact, I've had competitors that are a friend of mine call me up and go, that goddamn folder. We walked in and saw you guys there, and we just knew we weren't going to get the job. And I used to laugh. I go, why don't you get a folder? All my friends, I'm friends with everybody in the chimney industry here. I'm like, get a folder. It works, and it's funny. And so I got all our information, everything that we do. And then you fan it out. We got, wood facts of burning, suggestions on looking for second opinions. We even talk about why they shouldn't hire other people only because of our qualifications. We don't diss anybody else. We're just saying if you're going to get second opinions, these are the facts of why you would hire us over them. And then some other products and stuff and blah, 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 and then another pamphlet. But yeah, so it's fanned out in there. Like, so each one of these is shorter. See? So when you actually look at them in the folder, like I see like that, they're cut that way. So it's pretty inside the folder. So when I just put them down like that, they go up clean again. And by the way, there's a business card, which mine fell out. It's supposed to be a business card here for your whoever sales guys that are doing it. Guys, you can get these folders and buy these folders and make them for $2 a folder, all the print stuff in there. And you just literally spend a day, just go make 150 folders. It's simple. All right. Now what do we do after? Okay. After the appointment, you got to follow up. It's so funny how people don't. And the people that don't buy, you don't follow up. You got to text them. You got to recap. You got to send some stuff. You're just doing it. And you're following up 3, 7, 14 days or even more. If you have a natural drip system CRM like we do, people get hounded to the rest of their life till they buy from us. They just get a text and email every other day, and then it goes down to once a week after a while. But we do, and by the way, we have a system for this in Go High Level that does this if you come work for our marketing agency. All right, recap. The sale starts with your marketing, and it ends when they say no. When they finally just say no, right? Process replaces talent. The folder system makes any rep effective. I'm just telling you the whole process. Consistency wins. So everyone's got to be consistent. When you have it written down and you have it processed and everybody has this in their truck. Notice this is thick. So this can get thrown in a truck. And when my guys go on the field, they literally do it and flip it. And I make sure the customers see this. I'm okay with the new guys on the field using this with the clients. I don't care. It still works. As a matter of fact, it's funny how when they do it with the client, the customers, well, what's that? It's just my processes. I'll make sure I don't forget anything. I want to make sure I give you the perfect experience with our company. I don't want to forget anything. And that's how they use it. And it works great. And so this system built millions in repeatable revenue because it turns chaos into predictable processes. So, guys, that's the end of the deal here. That's me, and if you don't have my number and stuff, of course, we're all on together in our group. So that's the ball of wax to start off with episode 1 of helping guys on a sales thing, which I did record this, and I'll probably put it out, the recording out there. So questions, everybody, comments, questions, whatever. Don't be silent. Everyone has to at least ask me one question. It's mandatory.
Do you only have salespeople, or also your laborers also were involved in the sales process?
So, you're eventually going to want to separate. You're going to have only sales guys, and I'll tell you why. That's how because you want to have guys that are specialized in just getting yeses, and then you're going to specialize the guys in just doing great work. And I know pest control guys that are doing it. I definitely know wildlife guys that are doing it this way. It's a new mindset, and you got. But I'll tell you, I've taken guys that had three guys in a business, and we can't do that. I said, watch when you do it, what we'll do for your business, and they all blow up. Just because you're now training just a sales guy just to sell, and the other guy just do this, and it just works, and it works immediately. So. What else you got, Eric?
Oh, just that. Well, right now I got 6 guys, and they're cross trained everything. I got CSRs. I just been hesitant about getting salesmen, and just been more on my guys that have the background, have the experience. But I would like to get to that $5 million hump.
What are any of your guys currently right now like your best? Which is one of them like far and better than
Oh,
everyone else?
I got one. He's a beast. He's the one I'm getting ready for transition come February, moving to a
So
sales rep.
February, you're gonna put him in the sales only.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Because right now
Perfect.
he does a part time route, and he does a part time sales, but he can
Put him
handle
all
the.
on put him all in sales. Overpay the guy a little bit. Give him a better pay, and watch that guy just blow your company up. And then you know what you do. So get him out of the field 6 months, and then you got to do, Eric. Give him a trainee, and let him duplicate himself.
Yeah, he has autism, man. Nobody. He just works with numbers and very friendly, and so it's great to see how he's evolved from being shy to now being. Everybody told him he could never have a job, and now he has a job, and he's great at it. He loves it. He's passionate. So I'm happy
Could he
for him.
train people? Because a lot of people with autism they
He can't
can't.
train. He can't
Uh,
train. He has to
well,
follow. So that's because of him. We have processes, right? We have SOPs
he
for
needed
him.
it, right?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
we need
get
it
it.
for as a business, but for him, it made us. But he's good though. He's great. He's great. He's awesome.
Cool. All right, Colo, or actually Ronan or Colo, one of you guys, give me something.
I guess I'll ask.
Hit me.
Um, I guess how do you? What's the timeline for like a new company just barely starting off to get to where their goals or to get to success? I don't know. What does that look like? Because I guess for us, like, kind of feels like we're falling behind. It's super slow season. 6 months in. What's that timeline look like for us to get our stuff together? Our systems, our
Well, I mean,
processes.
here's the funny thing, Colo. Like, I was talking to Kyle the other day, and he has not called me back. I've sent us a couple stuff, but I'm offering to help him a little bit, and it's it's starting to where everybody starts getting the same brain on the same tracks, and you guys need to find what you're doing in sales process and spending on marketing are the two things I told Kyle. I said you need a sales process and you need to spend money on marketing. I don't care if you have to go rob a quick trip. Go find some money, and I'm teasing. But go borrow some money from grandma. Go get a loan, which I offered him a loan, to go get one of those loans that I have that I can get people. Get a loan and spend it on marketing, and it'll be a revolving line of credit. And now you get that loan and you go burn that loan up and you won't burn it up. You'll figure out where the marketing comes from when you can pay for it. You'll start getting leads, start buying leads. It's that simple. And you'll spend, let's say you'll get a $25,000 line of credit. Okay. Well, you're gonna spend maybe five, six, 7,000 the first month on leads. But how many roofs does it take to pay for that $5,000 or $6,000? One, but you'll probably sell five, right? And so that's how you start growing it. The company is gonna have to figure out how to market and spend money because knocking on doors isn't gonna just cut it. You're gonna have to do all of it. And so the sales process has to be better. Everything has to be. I mean, here's what I always find when I'm talking to people. You know, everyone I talk to and I talk about their sales process and stuff. And you were very honest with me at breakfast last week, Colo, or a week ago. It's like, do you have an answer? Do they really have a sales process? They don't. Most people don't. They wing it from what they learned from another company, or they're winging it just from their own knowledge of what to do. But I mean, how many valuable things in that little thing I just showed you could you actually just literally start doing that you think would actually make people buy? There's so much in there, just rapport, how to set them up to say yes. It's all in there, and it's literally when people start working with me, we go through their sales process quickly, get it out there so they can start repeating it and doing it, and it doesn't matter. So Cole, it really it's really just going to come down to uh, you guys need to find some marketing money, and then you guys need to really hone in on a sales process that really differentiates yourself, like we talked about last week, from everybody else. I still love the stress ball idea. So, like, literally, I've told 100 people about that idea already. Not in Dallas, but they're not Dallas roofers.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, and everyone I've talked to is like, I'm going to do that for my business.
yeah.
They're not even roofers, and so, yeah. All right,
Hey, I want to mention about the marketing, man. The marketing is key, man. My two 2.5 years ago, man, I was stuck and I was scared to spend $3,000 in marketing. I was horrible. I was petrified. Got me a credit card, Amex, high interest rate, and that 3,000 turned to 6,000. Then I upped to the 4,000. Then it was 9,000. And believe it or not, we had even 20,000 off 3,000. I was like, whoa, right? Another thing is, as a small business like we are, and we started because I started 4 years ago, I started doing things that other companies weren't doing, right? And so, as a roofer, there's a million roofers, right? But you gotta start adding other value, like painting. You gotta add other stuff, concierge services, right? Finding
it's called
contractors like
stacking. It's called stacking. You got to
there you
stack your
go.
services.
You gotta stack your
So,
services, and so that's why we got to wildlife. I hate wildlife. I hate construction, and I had to get involved in it because that was my growth came in was differentiate from my other companies that they were minimized. So there's only wildlife, only pest control, but I mixed it all together and I'm surviving.
yeah.
So maybe add more services, Colo.
So let me tell you a story. Uh,
Very
so
wildlife.
back when AdWords first came out, they would allow you to not pay for like 2 weeks. So I learned AdWords literally the first month AdWords came out.
For SEO,
Like
stuff like that.
literally. So I looked at my wife. I said, "How much of a budget?" She was on the. We were on our computer together. We were doing it together. This was like 2001. Like literally,
Phone
it was a
book
couple
stuff.
months actually before 9/11. And we're sitting there, and we just got done with our ad specialist who taught us how to set up the accounts and how to do ads. And we're sitting there, oh, how much money should we put? I think we had like $400 in the bank account. I mean, we had nothing. And I looked at her, and she goes 50, and I go 5,000. There's the difference for my wife and I. And and she goes, we can't do that. I said, okay, let's do this. Let's do 1,000. And she goes, no way. We only have $400. I said, honey, if this works like I think it'll work, and you get me in front of people, I'll pay the $1,000 and come home. I'll come home with new baby shoes. So we did. And in before it billed me, I had spent $1,500, not 1,000. I spent 1,500. My wife was shitting her pants. Brought home $38,000. I had one day alone. I brought home 20. So I was bringing home like 1,500, 1,000, and then one day I had 4 appointments, and I just sold the moon. Came home literally with $10,000 in checks for the deposits, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's what it takes."
It's
And that's
guerrilla
just,
marketing. You
yeah,
have to do guerrilla marketing. It's online presence, SEO, knocking on doors, networking, finding
that's a
other
whole different
contractors.
conversation. But
Yeah.
yes, that is definitely part of it. Okay, let's move on. Ronan, what do you got? Or Cole, did you have anything else? I guess I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Ronan, what do you got for me?
yeah, I think that's a great transition kind of. My question would might be a little bit more on the marketing side, but I've hesitated to commit with we do a little bit of marketing, but not much. And I've hesitated to commit because I've been told from a couple different agencies that, you kind of have to have your foundation set. Your website needs to be set up according to Google standards and all that kind of stuff. And I've hesitated to put any money towards it because I feel like I need to have this back end, looking beautiful. How much of that is true? I guess how much do I need to be doing on the branding side as well, like getting my name out there visually, to where it makes sense?
Zero. And yes, you need a website. I don't care if it's a total dog shit website. So
I have a
now
website. It's just not like it's a GoDaddy template, like,
the dog shit website, that's
basic
fine.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
But hold on. It's not going to help you scale. So like for our company, we're actually finding out that we're going to start building websites for free. And Ronan, if you want to talk to Madeline and I, you got to come market with us. It'd be about $1,500 a month. But we're going to take over your GMB, or your maps. We're going to take over that. We're going to run ads for you. You have your own ad spend. We're gonna get you recommended on AI. So we've learned. We're getting calls every day from our clients going, how are you getting us? How is ChatGPT recommending us? How's Claude recommending us? Well, we've learned how to do it,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So, you want a WordPress website, which we would build people for free. We're still working. We literally I just had a call with another marketing guy who saw my ad today. He loved it, and he called me up and wanted to see how I did it. He's another marketer friend of mine, and then he starts telling me his program. He's like, "We offer free sites." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, it takes us nothing to build them." I'm like, "It takes us forever to build one. We're good." And he goes, "No, I'll show you how to do it." And then he showed me some sites. I'm like, "Holy shit, looks like we did it." So I'm gonna meet with him on Monday in Miami, and he's gonna open up his little toolbox and show us how this VAs and how he builds the frick. Because I did the whole. So what you don't know, as a marketer, I can go on your website, not in it, but I can go and run all these little tests on your website and see what everybody's doing marketing wise. So I did that test on his website. He showed me today. I'm like, holy God darn it. This guy does everything we do. And he literally is giving these away for free to get their marketing, and then he ranks them, which we do that anyway. But I'm just like, yeah. So Ronan, this was not you asked. I was not trying to sell you my marketing company, but yes, we could. You should have a marketing company. Hopefully, it would be us. But and we would literally start getting you busy, busy. And we love contractors. You know why we love contractors? You pay us $1,500 a month. Maybe you spend $1,500 to $2,000 a month on ads. You're invoicing. You're doing, I don't know, $300,000 in construction a month, and we only have to get you 3 or 4 awesome leads a month, and you guys are killing it. Versus I got to go work for Eric. I get him 50 leads a week, and he's pissed if I don't get him, all that. And so I love work. We love working for contractors. This is why I built this, remodeling contractor opportunity checklist. And so, because that's our target marketing company, even though we work for all marketing, we do work for home services too. But yes, you do need to do that. That was not a sales pitch, even though it turned into one. Does that answer your question?
It does, man. Yeah, I'm definitely down to have that conversation. So let's set something up.
Okay. So with that, I'm always fast. It's always tomorrow. So if you don't want to wait, if you can't do it tomorrow, you can clearly talk to Madeline on Tuesday, and then I'll be back to talk on Friday. So whatever you want to do, you can message me. Guys, if you don't have me in your phone to text, if you would text me right now, your name, because I don't know who you are from a phone number, and my number is, and Colo, I have yours, and Francine, I have yours, so I just don't have Rolo's and Eric's. 972-877-3585, and we can carry this conversation after this is over, or tomorrow, or whenever. And so, all right, Francine, did she leave? Oh, she bailed out. It was getting late for her. So, okay, guys, that's the training. So